in Fayetteville to play the game. This is a weird game. If I told you that like 95% of the bets and money was on LSU, you would automatically assume this line was moving. It's not. LSU is favored by 3.5 points, roughly where it's been all week. Now, either Vegas knows something's up or this is some kind of a trap, one way or the other. Might be a little bit outside of my pay grade. KJ Jefferson, there's rumors of him being a little bit nicked up. Honestly, guys, I just don't know what's going on and what to think in this game. And honestly, if you look at my heart and you see this Ole Miss everywhere, I'm rooting for Arkansas in this game. So I'm not going to necessarily make a pick for this one. Anyway, Hammer, what are your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, very, very strange line. The only thing I can think is, LSU obviously is playing very good football right now, far better than Arkansas, who just lost to Liberty at home last week. So the line being 3.5 is a little bit fishy. However, it's an 11 a.m. game. LSU obviously coming off of a huge emotional win against Bama. They've had a couple of bigger games in a row, all at home. So it will be interesting to see if they can take the show on the road. It's going to be cold at kickoff as well. So I think there's just some external factors that are playing into it and keeping this line low. But you hit on it as well. Look, if KJ Jefferson can't go here, we've seen Arkansas and what they are without him, and it's not pretty. So that's the real key to me, because if he can play, Arkansas, I think, is a good enough team that they can hang in this one. But if KJ Jefferson's not out there, I just don't know what they can do offensively against a really quickly improving LSU defense.
All right, boss man, what say you?
Yeah, I think that's right. I think I don't think Vegas really has this one right, to be honest with you. I know what they're thinking in the sense that this is a letdown game. LSU just left it all on the field to take down Alabama in Death Valley last week. And so maybe you're kind of overlooking Arkansas. You're high on your own supply, reading your own headlines and getting all excited. And you're number one in the SEC West. So maybe that's a little bit of what Vegas is thinking. Maybe they know that KJ Jefferson isn't going to play or something, but or maybe they think Jaden Daniels isn't going to play, although I have heard none of that. So I don't know what's going on with Vegas looking at this line at 3. And I especially say that because, when I was looking at this game, I was really thinking maybe I want to pick Arkansas because there's been so much chaos this year. And I've missed on some of these games where I thought there could be a little chaos, and I went against my gut. But I'm going to have to go against my gut again here after I started digging into it, because Arkansas's defense right now has given up 442 yards per game. In the last 3 games since that Tennessee game where they got whipped in Death Valley, LSU has put up 528 yards against Florida, 500 against Ole Miss, and they put up 367 total yards against Alabama. An Arkansas defense has given up 442 yards a game and just had that first half like they did last week against Liberty in their own home stadium. I do not feel good about this Arkansas team right now going up against this LSU offense in particular. So I like the Tigers in this one. I think their offense is rapidly improving as they have over the last 3 games. Their defense is rapidly improving. Arkansas is going the wrong way. So I like the Tigers in this one.
All right, Hammer, final thoughts and predictions?
Yeah, I think I got to go with LSU as well. And really, to me, I think the X factor here, he was all over the field last week, so it shouldn't be a surprise, but it's Harold Perkins. When you look at what he did to Bryce Young, just really blanketing him, and anytime, he got out of the pocket, Perkins was right there on his tail. I think he'll do the same to KJ Jefferson. Jefferson, obviously bigger, more physical than Bryce Young, so getting him on the ground will be a little bit harder, but he's also a lot less elusive. So I don't think KJ Jefferson's going to be able to, get what he's used to getting on the ground, especially in a passing down where the play breaks down and he's just scrambling, because I think they'll have Perkins spying him. So I don't trust Arkansas right now. Obviously, they're coming off a really bad loss. And look, it is a letdown spot for LSU, but they're also first in the SEC West. So Brian Kelly's been in these big games before at Notre Dame. Now, a lot of his big games at Notre Dame didn't go well, but he's got a lot more talent right now. So they've got to be ready to play. And you just, this is not a game you can lose if you're LSU. So I like them to win and cover, but I do think it'll be close because of all the factors we did lay out. So I think LSU wins by 7 or 10, but it's a close game, late into the fourth.
All right, boss man, final thoughts and predictions?
So I'm going to take LSU to cover here. I probably should stop taking people to cover because that's always when that stops happening and doesn't happen. But I like LSU to cover here. The only chance that Arkansas really has, in my opinion, is to get that running game going. If they can establish the run against LSU right now is giving up 141 yards per game on the ground. So there is some room for Arkansas to get it going, but they're going to have to if they've got any chance in this game. I just don't think they've got enough on offense right now to do that. I think that LSU is going to be able to score on Arkansas. I think that their offense is humming right now. And so I like the Tigers in this one.
Should be interesting. It's on the hill up in Fayetteville. It's at 11 o'clock a.m. on ESPN. LSU is a 3.5-point favorite. The over-under is at 62 points. They are basically telling you they expect the score to be somewhere around 31-28 or somewhere in there, I think. Somewhere in the low 30s, 34, 31, something like that. So tune in for that game. Coming up in about an hour, we'll talk about which, in my opinion, is the game of the week. Ole Miss and Alabama. Stick